So, everybody, welcome to the Daily Closing Players of the Week. This is episode number 2. We want to highlight a couple of people that are, listen, significant moves. Right now, we're staying. I think that even the last session was a little more politically related. Obviously, there's a lot going on out there when it comes to politics. We're going to have an election that's going to come up on us soon. And for most people, it's a question of, looking for perspective. There's some people that I'm highlighting right now for a number of reasons. There's the things that are doing, the direction, the noise that they are making per se, the fact that there will be or they already are significant players, and that's the whole idea. Just give you a little bit of a background about these individuals and what exactly they're doing to be considered even players of the week, because obviously there's something that they got to be doing for us to even look into the individual. For some of you, there are names that you're already familiar with. You're watching this and you're saying, I already know that person, or I don't know the person at all. I wish I would have known this person a little better. We just want to give you, again, some information about these individuals, give you a reason, for you to even pay attention to them moving forward just a little more, because they are being described as players of the week for a reason. I have a group of people that, we constantly having a conversations about people that will have a significant role with this politics, business, people that we need to pay attention, voices that will have an impact on our day-to-day lives. So I think we highly recommend that you pay attention to some of those names, that you look into why are they coming up. So the first one that I want to start with is actually Kari Lake. Kari Lake is currently fighting to flip the Arizona Senate seat, which will somewhere somehow, become one of those key players that will have the capability to get that balance of power to be shifting to the favor of Republicans. Now, as of this moment, like, I want to state my personal position so that you can understand a little bit about where I'm coming from. Obviously, I'm not trying to sound like Julio Iglesias on purpose. I was born somewhere else. I come from a different place. I've seen different financial systems. I've seen some that work not so well, and I've seen some that work extremely horrible. So for all the imperfections that we have in our environment, I can tell you that there really is nothing better out there. There's no such a thing as the Chinese dream of the European dream. Everybody's coming to America looking for the American dream. So, I'm telling you this because I'm not somebody that's necessarily leaning on thinking in terms of political party or political affiliation. I look into how money works, what would be best in terms of financial choices, what would be best to support the fabric of the family, the foundation of family, what would be best to support our labor system to make sure that it's healthy, right? What would be best to support an immigration system that we obviously need to be concerned for so many reasons, safety, economy, there's many things to consider. So Kari Lake, since the last election, that actually was not a successful election for Kari Lake, running as a governor for the state of Arizona, and she lost that. Very contested, highly contested. A lot of conspiracy possibilities about what could have happened, what went wrong, what didn't go wrong. But make no mistake about it, as a former TV anchor, here's somebody that was able to really confront the media. She knows how to deal with the media. She knows how to communicate with efficiency. And what are the things that she is communicating today? Well, she's making it very clear, first and foremost, that she's part of the new wave of leadership that we're looking into in either party right now. But if we're talking specifically about the new wave of leadership that's coming in for the Republican Party, but when you're looking at Republicans, Democrats, independents, whatever it is that you're looking into, what you want to pay attention is that there's a new generation, 40s, early 50s, that are looking into diving into politics, doing everything that they can to make a significant contribution. So in her case, as somebody that, when you consider the leadership that we have today, that happens to be around 80 years old, just across the board, right? To look at somebody who is 54 years old, you're talking about, man, this is finally we're seeing some young people. I know some young people are probably saying that's not that young. It's very young compared to what we got going on. You're looking at, President Biden, when you're looking at even former President Trump is already going in that territory. When you're looking at Mitch McConnell, when you're looking at Nancy Pelosi, when you're looking at anybody who's already in that 50-year group, that's a phenomenal group. You know what I mean? We're looking at people that's going to have the energy and the perspective that relates a little more to what's going on out there at this very moment, right? And so a strong supporter of Donald Trump, makes no apologies whatsoever. She supported Donald Trump during the re-election. She supports him today. It's very clear her position about how she feels, and she has argued for the legacy of Donald Trump. You know what I mean, in terms of the political contribution to the economy, to the fact that there was absolutely no wars that anybody was fighting out there, that our enemies were a little more concerned or respecting. There's many things that we could, that the actual crisis that we have going on at the border right now was not taking place the way it's taking place right now. So a lot of things that she wants to highlight that we have to all collectively pay attention to. Because the fact of the matter is, whether we like it or not, once you break down, remove the personality for a minute, she's making a case not only for the fact that this man was probably a very good president, and in addition to that, she's going to make a case to continue to help in the process of getting him reelected, be part of that group of leaders that will be part of the Senate. She's hoping to achieve that. She's going to have some competition, a lot of following. She also has a lot of strong supporters. Obviously, her position and the number one argument, based on the fact that she is in a border state, right? The state of Arizona is a border state. One of the reasons why she's concerned about what's going on over there is because she's also a strong advocate about, the child trafficking issue that comes from immigration. It's one of the major issues that she argues for. Obviously, economy, China, jobs. But here's one of the things that I can tell you about her. Not only that she is an effective communicator, because she is an effective communicator. Not only that she is somebody that is very clear about her position, and she's going to continue to be part of the political arena. The fact that she lost the election running for governor hasn't discouraged her at all. Right now, she's very excited about this election, for the up and coming election for the Senate. She's making an argument. She's making a case. There's a strong possibility that, based on everything that's going on, she can potentially get elected. But also pay attention to someone who can actually be a phenomenal running mate for Donald Trump. This is somebody who's actually vice president material for so many reasons, right? And so we just want to highlight for you an individual that has entered politics, that for many years was an observer of politics, a commentator of politics, who decided to enter the arena. And I got nothing but respect for anybody that says, listen, I'm going to stop just talking about it. I'm going to jump in there. I'm going to see if I can make a difference. I'm going to see if I can make it happen. So I'm inviting you to look into. You don't have to agree with her position, but just make no mistake about it. This is an individual that is going to become part of our political environment, and this is someone that will potentially, at some point, in some capacity, will be serving the country. So hopefully you'll get to know her a little better. I will think that she's a natural, likable person that again communicates very well, and I think you will enjoy the process of following her. So that would be the player number one for this video. And the next one we're gonna stick to the ladies for the second one. Also, somebody that the moment that she made the announcement that she was going to be running for president of the United States, I was absolutely excited about the process. I was absolutely saying, you know what, this is somebody that can make a difference for the following reason. It can actually be a successful contender. This is somebody that everyone out there have to take very seriously. Nikki Haley, her poll numbers are going through the roof. I mean, the fact of the matter is that if you're talking about somebody that truly benefited from the last two debates that the Republicans actually have, is Nikki Haley. This is somebody that was able to jump in there, make an argument. Maybe in some cases came out a little feisty. So a few people were saying, well, she was very confrontational and very went after this guy, went after that person. Well, it's somebody making a case. She's fighting for a big job. And again, talking about a younger generation, 51 years old. How would you like to have a president right now who's 51 years old? I think it would be a significant difference. But numbers are going up. A lot of experience. She was the former governor of the phenomenal great state of South Carolina. Uh, Great job. Brought in an incredible amount of companies to move, recruited a lot of phenomenal companies to go into the state of South Carolina, and then later on became an ambassador to the United Nations. She has been extremely critical of the job or the lack thereof. You know what I mean? Because we're still trying to understand what is the benefit of us, paying for it. And that has been always our argument. We put a lot of money keeping the United Nations together, and the United States is usually not well treated by the United Nations. And so here's somebody that represented the company with a great deal of dignity, was able to always make a case as to not only who we are, but the reasons why we do what we do when it comes to the rest of the globe, the rest of the world, the rest of the countries that we got to deal with, who are our friends, who are the people that we clearly consider a threat, potential enemies. We made a great argument. Going into her presidential run, some of the issues where she's really resonating with people. First and foremost, China as a threat to the country in every component, right? Financially, politically, when you talk about geopolitical things that we need to be concerned about, right? Like with the kind of influence they are trying to systematically develop through many countries, right next door to us in Latin America. You know what I mean? They're already planting a flag in Cuba. They planting a flag in Mexico. They planting a flag in just about, they own just about, China right now owns just about every port in just about every Latin American country. They're making a lot of investments. So imagine if they control the traffic of everything that goes in and out. So, but she's been a strong critic of China and is sounding the alarm as a country that we truly need to be concerned about. How it affects our national security, how it affects the economy, how it affects employment. So those are things that she's arguing. Immigration, right? She's obviously using all her experience when it comes to understanding the process of immigration, putting forward some suggestions on potential solutions they can ease and hopefully fix the problem that we have going on with immigration. Concern when it comes to immigration, not just based on people that come to work for the facility, but there is a real national security threat that we're facing. We already know for a fact, it has been reported, the incredible amount of people that were already part of a terrorist list that has been captured. You know what I mean? So it's not a secret. We can hide all we want and hide the facts all we want, but the fact of the matter is, it's not a secret that we have a problem with some of the people that are coming through the border. Something that we got to take very, very seriously. This is part of her platform, at the top of the arguments. And finally, it's always about the economy. What do they used to say? Is the economy stupid? All right. Somebody has enough executive experience to be able to highlight, argue, negotiate phenomenal conversations. I think that also in a very delicate topic, there's going to be a topic of contention. It has always been, in addition to the economy, is the topic of abortion. I think that she has the ability to handle that conversation in a different way. So pay attention to what's going on with this lady, because right now, in the event that for whatever reason Donald Trump is not able to make it to the idea of running or to run at the end, if they are able to successfully stop it, and there's a lot of people doing just about everything and anything to make sure that they can that doesn't happen. Unfortunately, it's not the best of us. It's not the best of politics when you see things like that. But a lot of people are doing a lot of work to make sure that they can actually stop it. Don't be surprised By the time, if something like that happens, the person who's already at number two is not the governor of the state of Florida, Ron DeSantis, but the person who is positioned as the next person who will potentially be, getting the one successfully, getting past the primaries to go into general elections, would be Nikki Haley. And if nothing else, I'll be honest with you, it's somebody that is coming across as, like I said, as a great vice president material, who, imagine, comes in, spends some time with President Trump, and from there she has the ability to, with additional experience from the executive branch, to become a president eventually. And we're gonna see who's gonna produce the first president, whether it's gonna be Democrats or Republican. And finally, not to let my fellow men feel excluded. I want to highlight, we're still celebrating for the Speaker of the House. First of all, I'm just extremely happy that we finally were able to select somebody, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson. It just didn't look well, right? Didn't look well internally. I can only imagine how some other countries were looking at us, struggling to actually make the selection of having a Speaker of the House. It's like, it's not even conceivable. Everybody's going like, the hell is going on in that country? Like, I had friends overseas that would call me saying, what's really happening over there? Like, what's going on? Sometimes politics get to the point where some people are so obsessed about their own issues and arguments and perspective that they forget that the rest of the world is watching us, right? So I'm just happy that, first of all, that we have a selection. But Mike Johnson, again, part of that new generation, 51 years old. So I want to highlight, how young or how old these people are. And I'm going to do that just about with everybody. I just want to remind you, these individuals that have the capability to make a difference, they'll just give you an idea of age brackets, just because that do represent something. It means something when somebody has the strength, fresh in mind, still very motivated, is still looking to not somebody whose best days are behind it, but somebody who is trying to build a legacy by the work that they are going to do. But this is somebody that became a congressman since 2016 by the great state of Louisiana, a family man, a great communicator, has been married for 20 plus years, 25, 26 years. Same person, 5 children, 4 biological children and 1 adopted. A phenomenal communicator. The one thing that you're gonna see, and by the way, it's refreshing, to see somebody that comes into one of these main branches of our government and has the capability to communicate with efficiency. Man, we've seen people struggling for a while now, different branches, different individuals, different leaders, and you wonder, how did you even get elected? You're having such a hard time communicating a simple message. That's not going to be the case with this man. The good news is that what that represents is that more than likely he's going to have the ability to articulate and make a great argument, building a case as to why he needs to be doing certain things, but more than anything else, as to why we as a country need to be moving in a certain direction. So pay attention to some of the things. Obviously, he's got some big issues to deal with. Hopefully, we're going to see somebody that's going to seriously work on producing a budget for the country. We've been operating without a budget since the last time we had a budget, Bill Clinton was president of the country. That's the last time the United States actually had a budget to operate with, right? So that was operating under. It's like you managing your bank account without even paying attention to what's going in and what's going out. It's when things are so out of control, when there is such lack of discipline, that people are just like, we don't even care. We don't even want to see what's going on. Just keep going. Let's see what happens. That's not a good way to run the economy of your household, never mind the economy of the country. It has an impact on the economy of the world. So I'm looking forward to see if he's capable to do that. He is also a strong supporter of Donald Trump, a part of this American first mentality. For some of us, to be quite honest with you, even though I'm somebody that came from another country, I'm a citizen of the country. I love this country. I'm grateful for every single blessing that I have been able to get because of this country. So I have absolutely nothing against an American first agenda. We need that. We need to rebuild our infrastructure. We need to rebuild our economy. We need to rebuild our armed forces. There's many things that we need to do so that we can continue to be that shining light that stands on top of the hill. Strong supporter of family. It's another thing that I want to highlight for this man. Strong supporter of family, meaning the foundation of family, marriage. Strong supporter of life. You know what I mean? It's somebody that makes a very clear position that these are foundational things for a society to operate well. And so it's somebody that's going to make an argument about this. Obviously, he's going to be dealing with a lot of issues: Israel, Ukraine, China, anything that can potentially come out of those conflicts, the ones that are already taking place, the ones that can potentially pop up. You know what I mean? Iran is going to be a factor at some point, or an issue that we got to deal with. The education system is something that we got to deal with. The economy is something that we have to deal with. So he's got a lot on his plate, but he looks like a young man who has the energy, he has the desire. He looks like probably the one person that did not imagine when he left home and say goodbye to his family that he was going to end up in such an important position. Such an important position. The third person in line when it comes to becoming president of a country, in the line of succession, somebody that has the power of controlling the budget for the whole, controlling the purse and the budget for the whole country. We wish him well. I'm hoping that that Kari Lake has a successful run. I'm really looking forward for Nikki Haley to take that second place position, and eventually, if anything happens, to be ready to be a number one running for president of the country. I would love to see a female president of the country, but more than anything else, I would love to run. I would love to see a very capable female, right? Because that, I don't want to say just because somebody's a man or a female, men or women. You know what I mean? I'm not making choices based on that. I'm looking for the most capable person. I think she it's at that very high level, somebody who's very capable. I wish her well. If nothing else, I would love to see her also as vice president material. And obviously the final person, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, for whatever long this lasts. We wish you well, and we hope that you are going to bring your best possible ideas to introduce meaningful solutions to the country. For you, I invite you to follow these individuals, pay attention to what they're doing, and let us know if there's anybody specifically that you would like us to cover, so that all the people, right, based on your recommendation, all the people will get to know a little bit about who they are and why they are making a difference. Until then, looking forward for our next conversation, for the next group of players of the week. Congratulations to the players of this week. Please subscribe, pass it around, like, and comment. Let us know what you think about these individuals. Thank you.